Today marks a new beginning, a return to toughness. It's my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you our new head football coach, Mr. Todd Monken.
Wow, what a humbling experience that is. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's an honor and a privilege today to be the head football coach at Southern Miss University. I've been coaching a long time, and what an unbelievable tradition. And just to be a part of it is really, really special. And coming from a place like Oklahoma State, which you've all been down this road before with coaches from Oklahoma State. This program has an unbelievable history and tradition, and something that any coach would want to be a part of. When you're in the coaching profession, you want high expectations. I mean, you want to be at a place where winning is expected, and this is one of those places. We start a new era today at Southern Miss football. You've had that history tradition, but 1 year what I call a speed bump. And I'm looking forward to, with great confidence, to the future and not looking back. I've already met with the team, and the only disappointment was they get to go home. I want to get started right away and have them here right now. That's where I'm in my comfort zone, working with our players, and I could see it in their eyes. They didn't forget how to win and how to work and how to compete, and they're eager to turn the page. It's the same players that were here 2 years ago. They haven't forgotten how to win. We just got to change the mindset a little bit. First order is to get that changed and start a fresh set of downs. With General Hammond's permission, I'd like to borrow a line from his introductory press conference. It's time to come together as a university and chart our course into the future. That's exactly what we plan to do. And before I go much further, I'd like to have some thank yous here. And first of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Terry. This doesn't happen very often, so this is one of those times I actually get to thank her. So 21 years we've been married. I've been in coaching the whole time, and sometimes it's real difficult in coaching for your family to follow you and pick up and move, and she's been right there every year and supportive and loves football and loves being around the team and being a part. Travis, my son of a gun. I can't believe you're 11 years old. That dates me. So, but he's my best friend. He's my man, and it's hard moving your kids around, but this is a special opportunity, and he understands that, and I can't wait to see him run around in black and gold. I can't wait on the sideline. I want to thank General Hammond for not only obviously choosing me as his coach, but obviously as the person he is, and for the opportunity he's given me. I truly respect that, and I promise you no one has more enthusiasm and excitement for Southern Miss football than he does, and I really look forward to working with an alumnus, and his passion is obvious. As we went through the process, it was obvious that this was the place I needed to be because it was headed in the right direction with his leadership. I want to thank Dr. Lucas. It was fun being on the plane today with our family and getting to know him and his family, and I look forward to the new things on the horizon for Southern Miss University. The search committee. Usually that's kind of an odd thing to thank a search committee. I've been through a few of these, and it was an exciting opportunity in front of the search committee. It was probably the most enjoyable part of the whole process, was sitting there and getting grilled by them. I like to argue. I like to compete. and they got after it right away, and they had some really good questions, and the more they got after it, the more I got after it, and the more they could feel my passion, the more I could feel their passion, and to me it was obvious that if they offered me the job, I was taking it. And so I was fired up. I want to thank them because a lot of times you get into things in those arenas and there's questions asked that really, don't factor in with what they did. They went right to the point and what I was about and what they were about, and it was fantastic. I want to thank Jerry DiNardo. Jerry headed up the search, and he was instrumental throughout the process with information and guiding me throughout. I want to thank Oklahoma State University, Mike Holder, the athletic director, Mike Gundy, our fellow coaches that I worked with. It's a special place. Stillwater is a great town. Oklahoma State is a great university. I wouldn't be the person or the coach I am today without them. Mike Gundy is a great friend. He gave me an opportunity 2 years ago to leave the NFL and go to Oklahoma State and coordinate an offense. And that was an unbelievable opportunity, and I think we made the most of it. I want to thank our players at Oklahoma State. I've never won anywhere and had the success that I've achieved in my career without great players that bought in, players that loved their university, played for each other, and that's what those kids do there. And Mike's developed a culture there about attitude and body language and the way you carry yourself, and that it all matters, whether it's on the field or off the field. And that's what we're going to try to establish here. And our players, I look forward to watching them play in the bowl game. It's sad when you got to leave players you coach. There's one game left, and I won't be there for them, but I'm the head coach at Southern Miss now, and that's where my butt belongs, so I'm here. Finally, I'd like to thank my two brothers and my mom and dad, Robert and Joellen. I mean, obviously, people get where they get in life through structure, through love, through their family, and I'm no different. I've been real lucky. My whole family's involved with coaching. My dad was a high school football coach for 30 years. His four brothers were all head high school football coaches. All five are in the Illinois Coaches Hall of Fame. My brother's a head coach in Illinois, a high school coach. My cousin's a head coach at Georgia Southern, so it's pretty much in the blood, other than arguing and fighting and going home early at Thanksgiving and all that. But it's been a great way to grow up, being in a coaching family in a real structured environment. When the job came open, I knew again that I wanted it. And, I said to my wife, I said, that job is open again. And dang it, I mean, when you have a history of tradition, and you have coaches like P.W. Underwood and Bobby Collins and the success that Coach Bauer had and Fedora, and, you can go down and down the line. I mean, you want to be again somewhere where it's expected to win. And obviously there were some questions Coach Hammond had for me and that I had of him, but there was no question in my mind. I was immediately drawn here. And, when you read off, this is the same as last year, 18 winning seasons, straight, 10 straight bowl games, 5 conference championships, 24 years in postseason play. Players like Reggie Collier and Sammy Winder and Ray Guy and Brett Favre. I mean, how can you not get excited? I don't know how you can. And our goal will be to start a new streak and have new players that people recognize and have careers in the NFL. I've recruited down here before, coaching at LSU and Louisiana Tech, and there was always something about Southern Miss. Kids would always visit Southern Miss. It didn't matter really who else they visited. Okay, who you visiting? Well, I've got LSU, Ole Miss, and Southern Miss. What? There was just something special about Southern Miss. There just was. Kids wanted to come here. It's a great community. There's a passion for their football, and that's something that I want to embrace. It gets kids excited. But we need everybody. We need everybody involved. And that starts with the coaches, the players, and the community. Whether it's joining the Eagle Club or buying season tickets for the first time or coming out in the spring, or just when you see our players out saying, man, we're so excited to see this year. We can't wait. We can't wait to see you in spring. We just can't wait. You talk about picking up their spirits, because every little bit helps. Understand this. I grew up in an academic home, okay? My undergrad's in economics. I have my master's degree in education leadership. The way our players act off the field is important to me. I believe in the whole product, okay? I believe in a player being a pro. That's one thing we talked about in the NFL. How do you be a pro? How do you act like a pro, okay? That's what we're going to expect of our players. And I'm kind of known as a grinder. I like staying here late. I like trying to figure it out. I like the puzzle that's coaching football, and it's no different with our players in academics and how they act off the field. I think it all matters. I'm excited about digging in the Student Academic Enhancement Program that allows our players to improve not only socially, but academically. We've got a product here. We've got a great academic institution with an unbelievable business school and an honors program, and I think that's something to promote when you're out recruiting. Kids want to go somewhere where they can play championship football and get an unbelievable degree. Hattiesburg is a town. I've been fortunate enough to coach in towns, South Bend, Baton Rouge, Stillwater, towns that have a real passion for college football. And I expect this to be no different here after all the success you've had. And it's fun being a part of that. It's fun walking down, I guess I'm repeating myself, walking down on the walk and it being packed. And just our kids feel that. They feel that when the community's involved and they can feel it off the field. You can feel it at the hotel you stay at. You can just feel it. And we're excited about being here in a place that has a passion for their team. And one thing you can count on with us is that if we expect you all to invest, you're going to see us out in the community. My family and I, we like having fun. We like going out. We're social butterflies. So if we expect you to invest, we'll be out. And I've told General Hammond that. I said, you need me somewhere, I'm there. I'm there. I understand what college football's about. I understand it. I really do. And I want to be a big part of it. And I want us all to feel a part of it. And the only way for everybody to feel a part of it is if we include you. I know one thing. We're going to put an exciting brand of football on the field. There's no question about it in my mind, okay, that you're going to enjoy watching the product, okay? We want our home games to be an experience, beginning with Friday night at the Fountain, okay? And then we want our fans to flood the district and obviously have fun, but then get to the game and get fired up at the beginning of the game. Because obviously the way you start a game is so critical. The way you come out of the blocks and start in the tone, and that's so critical. So we like people having fun. Let's get to the game, and if we win, heck, I'll come out there with you, and we can enjoy that after the game. But let's make sure you're all out there. Obviously, we need the Rock to be like a 12th man. I mean, obviously, we need as many people there yelling, loud, juiced up, ready to go, for our players. They feel it. They'll feel it. And I promise you, they felt it when you weren't there. And they felt it when there was just a cloud hovering over it. I promise you, they felt it. They need your support. We need it there. We need you there. We need to make this stadium a hard place to play as it's been. And then someone said something about fifth quarter concerts. So whatever that is, let's win a bunch of games and let's go enjoy the fifth quarter concert. So whatever that is. So they're not as much fun if you don't win. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I don't feel like singing if we lose. So I think there's no question signing day is, a couple months away, and I'm already busy at work, and the guys that I'm going to bring in and some of the staff that's still here. Obviously, we've got to wrap things up and get a great signing class that leads us into the future, that gives us a chance to compete every year for whatever conference we're in for a conference championship. That's the goal every year. So we're working at that, at keeping the commits we have and going and stealing some, and hopefully convincing them that this is a great place to play, and it has been and still will be. All right, now the easy part, talking about X's and O's. All right. We're going to try like heck to put the fun back in football. And I think it's very hard these days for our players. The days of telling your players because I said so are over. They're over. They're over. There's so many things to do anymore. Facebook, Twitter, video games. Those things are unbelievable. I mean, how good those things are. But to get your kids over there, it's got to be fun. I want to make it fun. They're going to work their butts off, but it's got to be fun. They got to enjoy. We want our guys to enjoy being around us, enjoy being a part of the facility, watching silly videos. I laugh. I like to have fun. I want our guys to come over there and have fun. But when it's time to work, it's time to work. We're going to put the fun back. What we do on offense is fun. What we're going to do on defense, attacking people, is going to be fun. We want our kids to really enjoy being over there. On offense, we're going to be no huddle. I mean, that's what we did. Anybody that's watched us play, that's obviously part of the reason I got the jobs, because we scored. Hey. I mean, I hadn't been a head coach before, so it wasn't because I had an unbelievable record as a head coach. So it's obviously you're expecting us to score. So it's a very quarterback-friendly offense. It's very simple. And we went from 2 years ago where we led the conference and we're top 5 in the nation, and we threw it all over the place. And for obvious reasons, we had a first-round pick quarterback and a first-round pick wideout, and that was a lot of fun thinking about it now. Then this past year, we lost all those good players, and we played 3 different quarterbacks, and we had good running backs, and so we were second in the conference in rushing. And so it's not really predicated on running or throwing. It's based on what they do and us being good enough to score. And really it comes down to doing it better than they defend it. That's really it. And not blaming the players. It's got nothing to do with players. It's figuring out. Everybody has a skill set. I think it's easy to fall into that, and that's not our job. We all know the problems, but the object's to fix it. That's what we're paid to do. That's why we're paid a lot of money to do, is figure it out, and no one cares who plays. They just want the end product. I understand that. I understand the challenge, and I really look forward to it. On defense, I think what people have to get used to now is that when people go to spread offenses, they're going to move the ball. There's too much space. But in order to be really good on defense, you've got to have guys play team defense, fly around to the ball. They've got to create turnovers. You've got to get stops. And most importantly, you've got to affect the quarterback. I think the worst defense, and it comes from an offensive perspective, is when you lose your absence of fear. You're never successful unless you have an absence of fear. And when teams lose their absence of fear and they play careful, and don't come after the quarterback and don't change his mindset and distract him, you're not successful on defense. You have to distract. You have to affect the quarterback. That's how you win games. That's how it stops us. So that's the only way I know how to look at it. Is what they're trying to do is affect our quarterback. What we're going to try and do is affect their quarterback and make him miserable. And then on special teams, our best players have got to play on special teams. It's hard to say you're going to be good on special teams and not play your best players. I don't know how that works, okay? And I know everybody says that. But, all of our players talk about wanting to play in the NFL. Well, the easiest way to make an NFL roster is playing special teams, and they've got to understand that. If you don't play special teams, you're not going to make it unless you're a great player. So the idea is, and one thing about when you play special teams, you show your teammates you're giving it up for them, because that's for everybody. That's for your team, okay? That's not what I can do on offense or what I can do in defense. I'm giving it up for my team to play on special teams. I want to thank you again for coming today. This really is a special day for me. As excited as you guys are about this start, I'm telling you, it's 10 times for me. I've waited 46 years for this opportunity. My whole life's been in football, and I promise you I'm excited. Oh, yeah. Oh, I almost forgot one thing. Southern Miss. There we go. I was hoping you'd respond. I wouldn't just be stuck up here saying Southern Miss 3 times, see if I get a response. So